It's just about 7 a.m. in Tobago, and today, 345 years ago, March 3rd, 1677, would have been one of the most deadliest attacks in Tobago waters and on Tobago soil. You remember that I told you that when the French and the Dutch used to meet in Tobago a long time, used to be real bacchanal, and the Dutch were in Rockcliffe Bay going about their duties, trying to colonize Tobago, when around the corner they saw the entire French fleet rounding the point and coming into Rockcliffe Bay one by one. Now Rockcliffe Bay could only be accessed by ships in single file. Like you wasn't just coming broad all your line off coming in. You had to come one behind the other, and that's exactly what they did. So this is a now very famous painting of that scene that happened in Tobago 345 years ago today. Now you will see a lot of ships in the harbor, especially in that corner over there in the bay where you see two ships on land and like what seems to be a ship with a French flag in the background there on fire. Now, one of the reasons why this encounter was so particularly deadly was on account of the fact that two Dutch supply ships that were in the harbor that were basically supposed to be a safe haven for the aged, the women, the children, and slaves that happened to be in that harbor that day caught on fire. It caught on fire when the French ship, the Glorio, burst into flames after an encounter with one of the Dutch ships at sea, right, in the harbor itself. So it burst into flames, and like the flying flames from that hit these supply ships and killed basically everybody on board. They said the screams of the women, the cries of the children, like it was a horrible scene, and then added to that, like the screaming and the noise made it even worse. It was terrible, and it really resulted in a huge loss of life. But before that, the French weren't doing too well either, because by this time they had lost a lot of ships as well. So here's what the losses tallied to. By 2 o'clock on March 3rd, where they had been fighting now for 7 hours, both sides drew off to count their losses. For the French, they had 300 people killed, with 300 people taken as prisoners. That was by land, and on sea they had 1,200 people killed. The Dutch had 100 persons killed on land and about 400 killed at sea. But they additionally suffered the loss of 250 women and children killed and 300 enslaved people massacred. It was really cold.